Lust isn't harmless. It's one of the fastest ways to destroy your life. I know because it destroyed mine. I spent years avoiding friends, skipping opportunities, even dodging my own family, because hiding felt way better than facing myself. But it wasn't until I did something about this that my life finally started to change. But before I get to how, first of all, I need you to understand how lust even creeps inside your head, because if you can't see it, you can't fight it. Listen, lust isn't harmless. It's one of the fastest ways to destroy yourself. Inside my life, it was so subtle that I could barely even see it. You see, it all started as an innocent play. I started spending way more time at home, I finally got my first ever tablet, and you know what happened next? I started watching a lot of YouTube videos. And before I know it, one thing led to the another. I watched YouTube videos which led me to play video games. From video games I saw very attractive characters on anime, so I started watching anime, and then once I finally came back to YouTube videos, they introduced me to something called pornography. And I knew about the act of masturbation before this, however, I never truly actually abused it to some extent within my life. And so, the moment I understood that I can actually sit down at home at any given moment and just jerk off anytime I feel like it, bro, let me tell you something, I was hooked. And I didn't feel like this is actually something harmless. In fact, I thought it's something amazing. Holy crap, I can basically have interaction with any girl I desire just like that. It's so simple, man. It's so easy. And so I continued doing that for a couple of years, which ended up turning into my entire childhood until the age of 16. So you see, at the age of 16, the effects of such a life slowly started to kick in. I realized that, hey, you have no friends, your family doesn't actually love you, or at least you don't actually feel any love from them, and on top of that, you don't have any future for yourself. What can you really do inside this life? And in fact, I even tried to close my eyes and think about the future. I couldn't. Why? Simply because when you do activities such as those all the time, you simply cannot see and imagine in the future. Because you only think about the present moment of right now. How can I make myself feel pleasure right now? That's what you think, and that's what I felt every single day. But that was the day when I finally decided, hey, this can't go on anymore. It was the 16th of June. My online girlfriend, my one and only hope, finally broke up with me, and there I am sitting in my dead silence, finally being forced to face myself. And while I'm doing so, some very disgusting, nasty thought crept in my head. And that was the thought, hey, maybe this world would be better without you, Christian. And so, that was the first ever time I thought about killing myself, suicide. Before I did anything rushed and stupid, I decided to check, out of all places, YouTube for some reason. I opened my tablet back then, I only had a tablet, not a phone. I opened YouTube, and inside all these videos that were there listed from gamers and ASMR artists or other bullshit I was watching back then, I see some dude, bald, based as fuck, and he has a video titled Full Self-Improvement Guide. And so I click, because it was so unusual. He summarizes my entire life within 3 minutes, and he tells me to go meditate, to go gratitude journal, to go clean my room, and to specifically start exercising and a couple of other things. To my surprise, I decided, you know what, man, I have nothing to lose, may as well try his advice, and so I did. What I did next wasn't exactly what I was hoping for. You see, I basically started doing the exact opposite of what I was doing so far within life. On one hand, I have my old life, that darkness right here. My old life full of masturbation, full of poor activities, and full of dopamine. And now on the other hand, I have this life that I just got introduced to, which I'm taking right now, which tells me, hey, you should delay gratification. You should go and drop down and do push-ups before you can actually pleasure yourself. You should go and read books. And so I decided to basically step in from the darkness to the light in a simple second. And so what happens next wasn't exactly the cinematic movie transformation like you may hope for. In fact, it was slow, subtle, but it gave me hope. Because within the first 2 days, I finally cleaned my piece of shit room so that it finally looks nicer. It wasn't this nice looking, but it certainly did look better. So I cleaned my room. Next on the list was quitting poor behaviors. Masturbation. I quit within a single day. I didn't thought I would last, honestly. The moment I realized, hey, I can be on self-improvement, I thought, yeah, I will get back to it in the future. But turns out that I don't exactly like the habit. And so here I am right now, sitting with about 3 years and 2 months of streak. I quit video games. I quit so many poor, addictive behaviors within that one single month. And 8 months later from that turning point of my life, I come back in school after a long year of exercising, almost a year. I'm in the PE class, physical education, and my classmate, one that used to once laugh at me for how I looked, for how I behaved, now looks at me with prize and asks and tells me, bro, you can become a fucking model, bro. Look at yourself. Then all of my classmates just start staring at me. Literally, their eyes almost fell off. And you know what? I go in the mirror, look at myself, and I just think, holy crap, man. I actually look good. Wow. So basically, I went from a person without any hope that used to get bullied every single day to a person with a bright future that now gets compliments left and right. That's how lust almost took me out. However, I need you to understand something, okay? Lust isn't the enemy. If you can actually understand that, you can use it to your advantage. And that's exactly what I teach here. So if you're serious about this, don't skip this video, go watch it right now. I'm gonna explain to you how can you use lust to your advantage. I'll see you there.